Hi, this section is on the operation itself. I had it in July 2007 and it was a 4-hour operation. I came out of recovery and was in recovery for most of the night and taken to my room the next day. I woke up with tubes going everywhere and drains and I think because I had my stomach cut, it was a bigger operation. And then it started. I was on fluid, didn't notice it for the first couple of days. I was pretty much out of it, just drained from having the operation. And but the tubes, the IVs were left in for the longest stretch that allowed, which is, I think it's 4 days, and that was pretty annoying, not being able to move your hand or do anything or get up. And you do want to get up and then lie down. I mean, everyone knows that hospital is a place that you need to keep moving with. You'll have people come in and telling you to move all the time. And so with all those IVs and drips and everything, and it was difficult. So it really felt like freedom when I finally did have them out on the Wednesday. It was just absolutely fabulous to be able to jump up out of bed and sit down on my own. When I say jump up, that wasn't exactly how I did it because I had the stitches all the way down my stomach. I was in hospital for 7 days, and I elected, because I came from Orange to Newcastle, to stay around Newcastle area for a couple of weeks. My family were there the whole time that I was in hospital, and so we had 3 weeks over there. It would have been difficult for me to come back anyway because of the stitches in my stomach. I think any little bumps you feel in the road, they took it right up to my breastbone, so I couldn't wear bras because the wire or just the bra sitting there was very uncomfortable. It was best that I just lounge around in the unit that we hired for a couple of weeks. I got to go back and see the doctor, and because I was the first one in the family having this, we didn't know what to expect, and I was pleased to actually have the opportunity to be around the doctor. My GP back in Orange wasn't a person that had anything to do with this type of procedure, but shortly after arriving home there was a doctor that did move here, and I was very pleased that he joined our medical centre and that he had performed or been involved with performing operations, and so he knew what I would need, and he was someone to talk to, and he understood what it was that I was talking about. So I think it's important that not only is your surgeon there for you, but your GP is on board and knowing exactly what you're doing. You do need to have those visits to the doctors, and it makes sense that you choose someone that understands not just why you're doing it, but what it is all about, so that they can offer support and help should you need it. When I mentioned in the first clip about the stoma collapsing, that was it was unfortunate, not a threatening experience. Certainly you can't take fluids and you can't eat, so it's necessary that you go back in, and I was under the anaesthetic, but you're only under there for about 10 minutes and then a balloon is passed down there and you're out. Because I travelled from Orange, they kept me overnight for the first few times, and then after that, knowing I had someone to take me home and that I was feeling a whole lot better and used to the procedure by them, that they let me go that day. It was just an inconvenience. It seemed that it happened every month, though, and so what would happen is that I would go back to the beginning. So a day of liquids, and then pureed food, and then finally mashed food. So my weight loss seemed to be quite quick in the first 5 months while all this was happening, because while I would be progressing to other food, instead the stoma would collapse, I would go back to the liquid, the mash, the puree, and all those sort of things, like from the beginning. So my weight seemed to come off quite quickly. I was 112 kilos when I started, and 2 years on, I'm 62 kilos, and I've stayed 62 for the last year and a bit. And but the first 40 kilos were in the first 6 months, very rapid, and I'd say that's because of having to go back to the beginning each time. When I talk about the stoma collapsing, you need to ask your doctor to explain where the stoma is and what happens, and as I said, it's not a huge big deal, just that it does require to be put under anaesthetic to stretch it again. I am quite relieved that I found the doctor that I did, and as I've mentioned before, I think it's important that you feel comfortable with the doctor that you have. I'll end this clip here, and in the next clip I'll explain my food and what I eat today as compared to when I first started. Thank you.